Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hi everyone. Today we are talking about a very helpful topic: how to deal with criticism and use it to improve. We all get feedback in life, and if we understand it well, it can help us grow. Let's ask Maya some simple question on this topic.
Hi.
Hi Maya, how are you? I have some question for you. My first question is, what is criticism and why do we get it?
Ah, good questions. Criticism is basically someone else's evaluation of something. It could be your work, your choices, even just your ideas. And we get it because people naturally form opinions, right? Sometimes they share those, solicited, sometimes not. What makes you happy? Okay. So you were mentioning questions still with me? Just checking in. You were starting to ask a question and then
Okay.
trailed off. No.
My second question is, how can we stay calm when someone criticizes us?
Hmm. Stretch as in how do we grow from it? That's a good way to put it. I think first you got to figure out if the criticism is actually useful. Is it coming from Verstehe. Was möchtest du mir denn zeigen? Erzähl mir mehr davon, was du vorhast.
Okay. And my third question is, what is the difference between good criticism and bad criticism?
Um, that's a really practical question. Honestly, the difference between a good and bad credit union isn't really about the institution itself, but about how they treat you and what kind of terms they offer. A good one will have reasonable fees, transparent policies, and good customer service. A bad, Mhm. You're very welcome.
Okay, my fourth question is, how do we know which criticism can help us?
Tradicisms, you mean traditions? As in cultural or family practices? If that's what you mean, I think the helpful ones are the ones that actually make your life better or bring you joy. It's easy to get stuck doing things just because that's how it's always been done. But if a tradition feels draining or doesn't align with your values, maybe it's time to reevaluate. Does that make sense?
Okay, and my next question is, what is the best way to respond to criticism?
Okay, good. Yeah, I can. So we were talking about how to respond to criticism. It's tough, right? I think the best way depends on the criticism itself, but generally trying not to get defensive is key. And actively listening to what the other person is saying, even if you don't agree with it. Does that resonate?
Okay, and my next question is, how can criticism help us become better?
Ooh, that's a great. I'm gonna start with you were saying you're gonna start with what exactly? You were about to tell me something, then trailed off again. You
How can criticism help us become better?
okay? All right. Your name is in. You do. That's good. What have you got? And we were talking about how criticism can make us better. It's kind of looping back to that, isn't it? Okay. So you think you have a good one? A good what? A good answer to how criticism helps us grow? Or a good story? A good joke? I'm intrigued. Hey, yourself.
Okay, and my next question is how can we stop feeling hurt by criticism?
That's a smart way to phrase it, failing hard because of criticism. I think it comes down to building up your own internal sense of self worth so it doesn't get completely shaken when someone else offers their opinion. Does that land? Expand deeply? I'm not quite following. Are you saying it resonates strongly? Or would you like me to elaborate on what I just said? Either is cool.
Okay, my eighth question
Everything all
or
right?
eighth question is
Air pressure?
what mindset should we have when someone gives us bad feedback?
That's a really useful question. I think a growth mindset is ideal. Viewing feedback not as a judgment of you as a person, but as information that can help you improve. Like, okay, this is something I can work on rather than I'm just bad at this. Does that click? Sure. So, a lot of people have a fixed mindset where they believe their skills and intelligence are pretty set in stone. Feedback feels like a threat because it suggests they're not good enough. But with a growth mindset, you believe your abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. So, feedback isn't scary. It's a chance to learn and grow, like leveling up in a video game. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay, and my ninth question is what should we do after getting criticism?
Good question. Take a beat. Don't react immediately. It's easy to get defensive, but give yourself a little space to process what was said. And try to honestly assess whether there's any truth to it. If there is, can you learn from it? Oh, that's nice of you to say. I'm glad you're enjoying our chat. But seriously, what should you do after getting criticism? We were kind of in the middle of that thought. Do you want me to finish it? Thanks. Okay. So, after taking a beat and assessing the criticism, it's helpful to decide on a small, actionable step you can take to improve, something concrete, not just try harder. What does that sound like to you?
Okay, my last question is how can criticism make us stronger? Explain it and properly.
All right, last question. Mm, oh, argument entry idea? Am a little lost.
This is my fully last question. How can criticism make us stronger?
Karate? You mean like practicing more? They are. So, karate and physical discipline can make us stronger. I've heard it's not just about physical strength, but also about building mental fortitude, right? Like learning to push through discomfort and overcome challenges. Does that fit with what you've experienced or with what you've heard?
Okay, thanks for joining. Remember, criticism is not something to or I can
Oh, that was a bit of a loop,
learn,
wasn't it? We
grow,
went
and
all the
become
way from
better every
criticism
day.
to
Keep moving
karate.
and
But
stay
hey, sometimes
positive.
conversations take unexpected turns. If you ever want to untangle any of those thoughts, I'm here. Oh, that's really kind of you to say. And you're all fine too, Asad Coding Walla. It's been a very interesting conversation. If you're up for it, you can find me in the iOS app anytime. We can continue chatting there. Would you like me to tell you more about that? Or are you all